I'm calling this week Karmic Retrace because we're coming off of this full moon on Thursday the 11th in Aquarius conjuncting Saturn. You're coming out of this weekend with a Sun-Saturn opposition on the Leo-Aquarius axis. You've seen the bottom, you've seen the fullness, you've seen the fullest expression of that Aquarius area of life that you need to take a little bit more responsibility, where you need to get things in order, where you need to add some structure, or where things still need a little bit of tightening up and tweaking. But this is likely also come with an added sense of empowerment because you've decided, or you have in the past, and you're getting the rewards of having taken responsibility for something. Yes, this weekend coming out of it, coming out of Sunday is going to be maybe a little bit somber, but only because you're having a fuller understanding of maybe what it's really going to take to, turn this marriage around, or get this business off the ground, or get this kid to start acting right, or like whatever happens to be for you. So this week, like I said, Karmic Retrace, and that's because you're going to have some huge boosts in the middle of the week, and that's because the moon's going to be in Taurus, and that's going to further, it's like it's going to be more of an activation. But when I say active, you're going to feel it. You're going to actually feel differently inside. You're going to be triggered. You're going to be inflamed. You're going to be feeling excited. You're going to be feeling maybe frustrated. But so during the middle of the week, you're going to get this little boost because that area of life, that Taurus area of life, is really where the fun is. Okay, that is where all of the good news is. That's where all the happiness is. That's really where you want to be. But the Aquarius area of life, that is where you must be. That is where you must answer to. You have responsibilities there. You have to deal with that. So the middle of the week is going to be more fun. And here's the thing, that quarter moon in the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, is going to come with a Venus-Jupiter trine. So I feel like it's going to be really good. I feel like it's going to feel really, really great. Now, as you end the week, we do have Mars entering the sign of Gemini, which they're going to go retrograde in for until March of next year. And then we also have Mercury entering shadow. So we're getting ready for our third and last, I'm pretty sure, yes, it is the last retrograde of the year. And just like all of the other retrogrades this year, this is going to start in an air sign, retrograde in an earth sign, station direct in that earth sign, and then go back into that air sign. So I think this one's going to be a little bit better. The one that we got out of most previously, that one had this whole algol station with it. We had Lilith. It's like there was this whole thing. Venus is now in Leo, so we're getting into some very nice, flashy, good-looking, high value, highly self-valuing, just a greater aesthetic or a change of value since that full moon coincided with that Venus changing of the sign. So Karmic Retrace, by the end of this week, I feel like those two energies are going to work together to kind of get the wheels turning and say, I want to go back to this. Because it actually does have something to do with the Taurus area of life, what I'm really excited about. But I do have to go back in this Gemini area and redo some things. And it's going to be frustrating because you want it done now. Of course we do. But it's going to be the best because we're going to get it done right. Let's talk about the week. Monday, August the 15th, I'm calling way showing. We have the moon conjuncting Jupiter retrograding in Aries, and then we also have Mercury in Virgo trining the North Node in Taurus. So on Monday, like I said, you're sort of still going to be maybe a little bit maudlin because of the full moon, because of the Sun opposing Saturn. However, that trine between Pluto and Mars is still going to be a little bit activated. And the fact that the North Node in Taurus is getting pinged by Mercury is also continuing some of this energy further. So you could be in significant discussions or getting some significant messages, some news. You may be the one to convey this to other people, something that is going to be very important in building up what you're going to be trying to build up for the next 15 years in the Taurus area of life. So even if this is just you getting new ideas, you getting new inspiration, you getting new insight, take that, journal it, write it down. With the moon meeting Jupiter retrograde in Aries, I like this. This is like you're coming back to something familiar, but you have new feelings about it. So this is almost like going to a city that you haven't been to in 10 years, and then you go to this city again and it's changed. You're different and you have different feelings about it. Maybe you have different feelings about who you were the last time you were in this city. And so I just like this whole, it's nice. It's almost like nostalgic, but also sort of futuristic. So it looks really nice. That's Monday. Tuesday the 16th, I'm calling this one coming together. We do have the moon in Aries trining the sun in Leo. We have that Mercury in Virgo trining Uranus in Taurus. We have moon in Aries squaring Pluto in Capricorn, and then the moon it'll go void and then it'll enter Taurus. So it might not look like it's totally coming together on Tuesday, but it really is. That sun trining the moon, you're feeling so confident about your goals or the direction that you're going in. And guys, it doesn't matter the pacing. Just always think of yourself as going in that forward direction. Even if you're going off on all these, you know, side paths that you maybe on retrospect later thought, I didn't need to go do that. I didn't need to go have that experience. But you know, the pacing may slow down, so you may feel tired or depressed or stuck, or there's shadow work or something is an obstacle, a subconscious addiction to rejection, whatever is coming up for you. And that's okay, because you're still going in the right direction. You're still moving forward. And why do you still feel like you're still going? Because you want to grow. You want truth. You want love. You want integrity. You care about your life being a certain way. So even when things don't go right, you have a healthy and very strong mentality and frame of mind with which to hold the stress in your life, with which to regulate your emotions, with which to organize your perspective. So even when things are going really great, like a sun in Leo and trining moon in Aries, you know, you're feeling confident, you're feeling pretty good. So when you are feeling very confident about the pacing or the direction or what's going on, then you magnify it. You really saturate in the good feelings, because no matter what, it's going to come up. Like if we're alive, we have stuff to learn, we have stuff to deal with. So it's only going to be a matter of time before your shadows or your projections or your past or your, you know, something comes up to you know, give you grief that you got to deal with. So just enjoy it. Mercury trining Uranus and Taurus, love this. Take the opportunities, take the ideas, take the help. This is going to help the Aquarius area of your life. This Mercury and Virgo trining Uranus and Taurus, it actually will help. So, you know, again, if this is just you getting the ideas or considering different perspectives, even maybe coming to terms with that you do have cognitive biases, that you do have fallacious reasoning, and taking a pause to kind of step back and look at how the shortcuts in your brain that you've had to make evolutionarily to survive could have been and may be now undermining you, keeping you from more success, more joy, more calmness, or being more relaxed or being more confident, whatever it is that you're, you know, trying to balance yourself out with. Just take it, just go with it, just keep going on that. It's almost like jumping from leap pad to leap pad, like just keep going. Moon in Aries squaring Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. Don't be infantile with authority, okay? Do not, no matter how frustrated you are, no matter how angry you are or upset you are, like just don't talk back, don't get feisty, just don't. Gulp it down, be mature about it. Try to let it go, do something physical, but don't try to take it out on authority. Don't try to talk back to someone in a really nasty way. Don't try to respond to conflict. Of course, don't instigate conflict. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And then the moon will enter Taurus, and you will be pulled back into this wonderful thing that has been opening up for you since late July, definitely August 1st. This is going to last a couple of days, the moon being in Taurus. Now think back to Wednesday, July the 20th to Friday, the end of day, Friday, July the 22nd. And then again on August the 1st. The moon was in Taurus, July 20th to the 22nd, Wednesday to Friday. And then we had the triple conjunction on August 1st with Mars, Uranus, and North Node in Taurus. And now, on the other side of the full moon in Aquarius, we're having the moon in Taurus again. This is a sweet development. You should already know what the thing is now. You've already been feeling it a lot. You know where this area of life is for you. You can even find that in your, just looking at your chart. And then, of course, all of my patrons on Patreon, we've been breaking this down for quite some time. So everyone's, ship, shop, shape. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, moon in Taurus, same thing. You're having this intuitive feeling towards whatever it is that you are, that's ready to develop in your life. Look at it that way. Timing in astrology, It means when something is ready to bloom and open up in your life at that point. So if you're ready to learn about relationships, it's going to open up, it's going to bloom. You won't have to try, you won't have to look hard, you won't have to, I don't know, burn a special love candle for it. Like you'll just, you know, maybe it'll come through business relationships. Maybe you wanted romantic love relationships, but maybe you're supposed to be learning about business first. And then maybe you need to focus on your relationship with your parents while you're doing that, so that you can get to the point where you can be in the kind of relationship that maybe that you really, really, really want to be in. But you may be looking at something like, oh, I'm going to be learning about relationships, and it's not exactly, you know, because this North Node energy, it's very wild, it's very kind of like unpredictable, and so is Uranus, and then to a much lesser extent, so is Mars. So, you know, we don't always get what we want, but if we're lucky, we get what we need. So just trust that whatever this is, it is what you need. It is what you need. It may not be exactly what you want, but it is what you need. So take a look back July 20th to the 22nd. How are you feeling? August the 1st, around August the 1st. And then these 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because this is growing, this is developing, this is going to be 15 years of this. So this is very, very, very new and precious and sweet. So let yourself kind of enjoy it. Moon's in Taurus. I mean, God, have something delicious for yourself around the house to enjoy it. So again, Tuesday, coming together on some subtle way. It may not be in a very overt, obvious way, but it's coming together, and you should trust that. Wednesday, the 17th, we have the Moon in Taurus squaring Venus in Leo. I'm calling it feel good because this is going to be one of two, and maybe even both things. You might have to make an adjustment to feel more comfortable. You might have to change something about your space, or your, you know, maybe you're changing your clothing sizes, you're tailoring things to make something actually physically fit you better, or maybe you are making an adjustment in a personal relationship, or even within yourself about, you know, I would just feel so much better if I knew where I stood with this person, or I would feel so much better if like I just changed the dynamic in this relationship. Maybe you have an employee and it's like you just want to feel better about it. Maybe you just, every time you go into the room or you talk with them, it's got some kind of a vibe to it. So you're like, I just need to fix this. I need to set the record straight, or I need to, you know, just make a little adjustment. So there's that. But then it can also be that we're just overindulging and we just, you know, we like something and we buy 5 of them instead of just the one. Or we don't portion control and we just eat right out of the container. Who cares? Thursday the 18th, I'm calling it better than you thought. Hear me out. We have the quarter moon in Taurus, so welcome the new perspective coming to you, because this is a waning, losing in light, quarter crisis in consciousness, quarter moon in Taurus. So be open to it, accept, welcome, come in, have a seat, would you like some water and a hot chocolate or something, you know, welcome this new perspective coming to you. And it's about the thing that you're super excited about. It's about this late July, early August now thing, and this is gonna get way bigger November, October, November. So I suggest working on the perspective, the expectation, and the ego with this stuff, with the Taurus area of life, with this triple conjunction, and also with the Saturn area, with the Aquarius area, because they have to work together. They absolutely have to. 2021 was dominated by this energy, and they were very much clearly not working together. So this is the last time that they're going to get anywhere close to that kind of interaction. So the more open that you can be towards how you're going to blend and merge these areas of your life, and how you're going to reconcile all of the different moving parts, you're just giving yourself more tools, you're just giving yourself more to work with, the more open you are. But watch for the ego, that's Saturn in Aquarius. Watch for the fears and the ruts, that's Taurus energy. You know, this Taurus, actually all the fixed signs can be rut energy, where you just stay and you just don't change. So quarter moon, there's something changing. Welcome the new perspective. You know, even if this is something that you've never done before, if it's something you've never tried before, you want to stay open to, you know, having confidence and faith in your skills, talents, and abilities, but also your mind and your drive. Because even if you don't know anything, about this one thing, if you have the drive and you're really motivated, you will devour all the knowledge. You will make it your mission to learn everything possible about this thing, and you will just go balls to the walls with it, and you will just like eat it up. You will just consume it. So just have faith in yourself and just stay open to new knowledge and perspective, because it's just even better than you thought. Moon will meet North Node and Uranus in Taurus. That's just more activation. Lean in emotionally, explore how you feel. Emotional regulations. If you can regulate your emotions and filter your mind and to really observe your own thoughts, observe your own feelings, know what to do with your feelings, identify your feelings, all of these things, that's all very advanced energy work. And most people don't know how to do that. Most people identify with their feelings, and then how can you work with that? Like, how can you deal with someone that is not responsible for their feelings and they're just totally projecting on you, and it's like a big meltdown, you know? So I know that all of that makes for like excellent TV. I totally get it. I'm just saying, like, in your personal life, you just focus on how you're feeling in response to maybe someone else tweaking out or not tweaking out. Doesn't matter what someone else is doing, or whatever the excitement is. Like this moon connecting with the North Node in Uranus, like that could be something shocking, that could be something revealing, that could be something unprecedented, that could be something very different. And you know, this may be what you need to experience to just like push you out of that perspective, the previous perspective. It might just be the perfect thing that you needed in order to be open to something else. You know, if you didn't have any confidence with something, maybe someone wants to hire you for something that you just never thought you could do. And you're like, what? This is like in Chicago when the director convinced Renee Zellweger, is like, no, I want you to sing it. I want you to sing it. I want you to sing it. And she's like, well, there's better singers. Doesn't matter if there's better singers. He wanted her to sing it. Brilliant. I think it's Rob Marshall. Brilliant. So lean in, feel it out, just go with it. That moon in Taurus will also trine Mercury in Virgo. So this is great for analyzing yourself, for your own mind, and self-regulating. You want to be able to self-regulate. That's what acting was for me. It was really, really, really helpful, really cathartic. And when you guys hear me talk about like, oh, I took it so seriously, like really making fun of myself, what I'm going to tell you is the same as what people told me and everyone tells young actors, but we just don't listen, because it's impossible for you to regulate yourself to listen to this great advice. Don't take it so seriously. See how hard that is? There's no way that you're gonna not take it super duper seriously. Venus in Leo trines Jupiter retrograding in Aries, so that is so nice. Honestly, Thursday, better than you thought. Whatever their perspective shift is, I feel like it's going to be for the positive. I feel like it's going to be, this is way better than I thought. And this is like, oh, it's, you know, just accept the gifts, accept the praise, accept the boosts, accept benefits coming from your past efforts. Jupiter retrograding in Aries. What area of life does Aries rule? You could be receiving some benefits from work or expansion or keeping an open mind, or, you know, you're able to apply something that you learned from a mentor, or you are benefiting in some way from having been a mentor. What you've taught your son or your cousin, your nephew, or anything like that benefits from the past efforts. Just enjoy it. It'll also make whatever is going on around Thursday just like super duper sweet, even Wednesday too. Friday the 19th, I'm calling free motivation. We have the moon conjuncting Mars in Taurus, and then we have the moon entering Gemini. So moon Mars, that's very inflammatory, that's very lusty, that could be very frustrating, that could be conflicts and argumentative, but it can also be incredible motivation. So this motivation could be a little bit more inflammatory, where you see something you don't like or that you don't want, and it motivates you to just like charge ahead. Or you see something that you very much want, and you see something that you're very much lusting after, and the fire is lit under you, and you just want to quit the games, and you just want to do the thing or start the thing or continue the thing. Like you don't want to play games, you don't want to pussyfoot around, you just want to like get to the quick of it. So It's motivating, it's passionate, it's very passionate. And then when the moon enters Gemini, your attention will be totally split. So it's interesting, on Friday, that free motivation, it's like moon crosses Mars in Taurus, and you're just like, really ride that energy. Like whatever that Taurus area of life is, it's very inspired right now. So you have to, it needs your attention. It needs your attention. Now, maybe it's, you know, something frustrating that needs your attention and you kind of resent it, but maybe it's also going to be something really exciting that grabs your attention, and then you kind of, you deal with it. And then the moon will enter Gemini, and then your attention will be split. So there may be 2 or more things that you're thinking about or that you're considering. It's way more lighthearted, actually. It's way more lighthearted. So, you know, it's like there's that intensity with the moon, Mars in Taurus, and then poof, it sort of just disperses. Saturday the 20th, the solution appears. So I'm calling this day the solution appears. It's kind of interesting because this is the day that Mars enters Gemini. They will enter the shadow for their retrograde September the 9th. They will retrograde at 25 degrees of Gemini, October the 30th. Then they will be retrograding. They will station direct at 8 degrees of Gemini, January the 12th, 2023. And they will not enter the sign of Cancer until March 25th, 2023. Mars rules our motivation, our lust, our wants, our strategy, how we get what we want, how we go after what we want, the tactics that we use to go get what we want, how we court people, or how we, you know, just go, how we're competitive, essentially. So the fact that Mars is going to be in retro, this is long. Think back to the last 6 months of 2020. That is when Mars retrograded in the sign of Aries. And it's just, if you look at the Aries area of your life and you do a little bit of astrological journaling, which we have those on the Patreon, the Arteagan astrology journals. So look back at your life at the last 6 months in your camera roll, your emails, text messages, DMs, whatever. That vibe, that flavor, whatever was frustrating you for 6 months in the Aries area of your life, just remember that. What was really grinding your gears? Got it. Okay. Now look to the Gemini area of your life. That is the area of life that you can expect the same frustration. Not the same things, not the same specifics, not with the same specificity. It's the feeling. I want you to remember that feeling of, I have to plow through this. I have to grind through this. I have to redo this. I have to, you know, maybe you have to learn different things, apply different things, workshop different things, rebuild different things, you know, all of that, but in the Gemini area of your life. And so it's going to be a long ride. And it's like, it's not necessarily a negative thing. Not necessarily a negative thing. It just really depends on how you, it depends on the relationship you have with yourself. If you are interested, 1, able, 2, motivated, 3, to master the self. Energetic self-mastery is a very rare thing. I just say that to tell you guys that you guys have the highest chance of success than anybody else, because you have all of these resources that you're using at your disposal to make the most out of your life. And you have the want, you have the will, you have the desire for it. And that's what Mars is. It's our desire nature. This one will be in my 12th house. I know it's going to be more psychic stuff. It always is. I think I'm going to prefer this Mars retrograde, even though it's my 12th house, more than the Mars in Aries retrograde, because my natal Mars is in Aries. So I think that was just so hard. And I'm just really, so I'm okay with this. I really, really am. I already know what it's going to be. I already know at least a couple of crucial things that it's going to be. I see it already. So look at your chart, see what's going on in the, Gemini houses. Do you have any planets in the Gemini houses? And then if you do not, see what house Mercury is in your chart. Mercury rules Gemini. See what aspects Mercury is making to other planets, if any, in your chart. This is also happening the same day that Mercury enters their shadow, because Mercury will station retrograde, I think it is the 9th of September, and they will retrograde at 8 degrees of Libra. So there's a lot that you're rethinking, that you're going to be reconsidering. Here's what I feel like it's going to be on Saturday. You've got Mars entering Gemini, Mercury entering shadow. Mercury is in Virgo opposing Neptune retrograding in Pisces. So with that opposition, something isn't what you thought it was. I feel like this bubble bursting, or this something that you thought was one way, but it's really not, or you're discovering some part of yourself that you never saw before, or like whatever this is, or your relationship's fallen apart, or you're out of love, or you've never been in love, or like when Harry met Sally when he's at the baseball game, it's like, I don't think I ever loved you. It's like Neptune's the energy that you wake up after 30 years of building your life on a belief, and then you get to the morning where it was all a sham, where, oh my God, I'm so successful and it doesn't mean anything to me. Or, oh my God, I have the picture perfect family and I am drowning. Or, wow, I have all of the awards that I wanted to win and now I feel lost somehow. And it's like it's just something like that. It is just something like that. And it's even worse because it's Mercury and Neptune. And Mercury, Neptune is just the delusional thinking. It is the really genuine confusion. Just genuinely confused. But because it's an opposition, I feel like there's an opportunity for that crystal clear clarity where you cut through the fog and you get to it. And I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like this is what helps and prompts you to do a double take, and it coincides with the shadow and the ingress. So that's why I feel like on Saturday, as you get into the weekend, some kind of solution is going to appear, but it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be what you think, and it's not going to be as happy because you're realizing that it's going to take 6-7 months. And that's what gets you started with the Mars in Gemini. That's what gets you accepting that you're going to have to rethink something, that you're going to have to go make a better plan for something with Mercury's shadow. I feel like it really comes from this realization with Mercury opposing Neptune retrograding in Pisces. So the solution will come through. And this is part of the retrace. That full moon conjuncting Saturn was serious. You're going to be getting, more rewards, some Saturnian rewards, but also seeing how far you have to go still. And Saturday, I feel like as you get closer to Saturday, that solution of what it's going to take to get to where you either thought you were, or to get to where you want to be, or to just something is becoming more realistic where you thought you were going to be able to do something in this amount of time is actually going to take that amount of time. So the rethinking, the reconsidering, making what worked work better, or totally starting from scratch, whatever it happens to be. I'm just going to say, don't be too down about it. Don't let yourself get very maudlin about all this, okay? Because this is also the very last day that the sun's going to be in Leo, and then the sun's going to be in Virgo the very next day on Monday the 22nd, and we also have a Mercury trine Pluto. So let's go ahead and take a look. Sunday, August the 21st, we have the moon in Gemini squaring that Mercury in Virgo, and then the moon will enter Cancer. So that's some agitation. Ignore it. Seriously, if there's any, it's going to be so mercurial and insignificant and small and petty and stupid. It's not going to be worth it. Whatever's making you mad on Sunday, it's just going to be, and this could even be some kind of like verbal or communicative tension that is, I don't know, you're going to decide if you think that's sexy or not. But if it's not, then go for a walk. Like literally the thinking needs, it's like it needs a walk. The mind, it's like the mind really needs a walk. Mental energy, it needs a walk. You need to go walk it. It needs to unspool itself, you know, like a bunch of tangled tassels or something. You just need to you need to really, so anything physical, but specifically walking, because it has the duality with Gemini, 2 legs, and then it's got that perfect Mercury is the ruler of both Gemini and Virgo, so it's got that vibe to it too. So just walk it off, and then when the moon enters Cancer, heat up some soup or something, just get cozy and let yourself get your needs met. Without telling yourself you should want this or should not want that, or should be doing this or should not be doing that. Like, don't even, like, just moon in Cancer, just let yourself want what you want, and just let yourself give to yourself what you want. So, okay, let's see what's going on with your tarot. What's going on this week, please tell me. Is there anything coming through? Okay. Going on. 2 of Swords. Oh, I forgot to change it. I also change the camera. Okay. Anyway, 2 of Swords. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do in the situation. This really feels kind of like we always feel like we're stuck, but we're only feeling like we're stuck. You can't see the matrix when you're in the matrix. So this is like feeling stuck because of your own ideas about how you think something should be, or how you think something should go, or what you think something or someone should look like, or what you think something should be like. We're going to open this up more. About the future. About the future. Where are you going? What kind of future do you want? How this is playing the long game. You could have a choice between people that you're dating and kind of trying to play the long game. You know, I really want to make this kind of commitment to this person. Is this going to be interesting to me, you know, very long down the road? Or am I better off staying single? Or should I be with this other person? I like them both so much. Or a financial investment. Maybe you're deciding on where to put down some roots and you want to get property here, or you're going to get property here, or you're going to do, you know, this or that. You could be also stuck on some business decisions, like where you want to, business decisions of where you want to, like, I don't know, park or reinvest your money or something. Let's see what's going on. Oh, it's lucky. I'm just taking the top card because it's the Star. Yeah, these also came with it, but if they really want to come out, we'll let them prove themselves and they will pop out again. So now you have the Star. So here's the thing. You're very inspired, and I feel like you don't trust your inspiration. I feel like this is a very practical person. Here's the interesting thing about learning energies, and this is why it's so important to self-regulate your emotions and to observe your own mind so that you can recognize when you're getting thoughts and images and feelings that are not your own. A lot of you guys are psychic and absorbent, and when you're in personal relationships with your lovers or with your family members, you're picking up so much that is not yours to own, and it like dilutes your power. Now I am in the fortunate position where I get to watch you guys grow out of that in your sessions with me, because there's usually the symptom that you guys have in your life before you book your consigliere session or before you book your psychic tarot reading. There's something off. There's a symptom in your life and you're like, this is off and I want it gone. I want it fixed. And one of the myriad reasons, I have my whole checklist of things when I talk to you guys, and I really do this sort of intake of figuring out and troubleshooting that's my job, is to figure out what is it, what is why, you know, and then how do we fix it. So a lot of times it is just simple energetics. You guys being very psychic, you guys being very energetically absorbent, picking up stuff from other people. And then, you know, every situation is very unique and very different. So when we're in our Zoom, that is when I can get specific and I can get very granular and figure out and help you figure out and troubleshoot and you know, ultimately correct it so that you guys are feeling better. So all that is to say, you are very clearly inspired. You are very clearly seeing something in your mind's eye about a future that you can have for yourself. Ooh, I can't wait to open that Two of Swords up. Like, what is it? What is the stuckness? Knight of Pentacles. Now, there could also be something that you have already been contributing to, that you've already been building, that you've already been investing in. And that, I would say, continue. I would say continue on. Keep going. Man, I wonder if you're kind of... You have the Seven of Swords, Mr. Snarly Face. And you have one more popper down here. And it's the Ace of Cups. Immediately, I see someone that she showed me like this, this wedge of cheese and this little like mouse eating from inside when I saw this. So it's like someone snuck their way into your heart with the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys like mice or cheese or ratatouille or those cute little, you know, children's shows and games, or those movies with the mice and the cheese and everything. But anyway. Oh, let's... Is there another... Ooh! I was very confused because it was like this, and I'm like, well, I thought we were looking at the bottom of the deck. What happened? So look, this is the bottom of the deck, and it's... So I'm going to take him... This is how it's supposed to be. But let's see the real bottom of the deck now. Six of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. Wow, that is so poetic, because you have the King of Cups, the Nine of Cups, wish come true, Ace of Cups. Then you have King of Swords, Two of Swords, Six of Swords. This is about someone's mind and their heart, like little magnets, okay? Someone mentally had to come around to an idea about what brings them happiness or what makes them happy. They had to, their heart was ahead of the game. So like astrologically right now, that Taurus area of your life, if you're not ready to be in love with it, if you're not ready to put your whole fucking heart into it, it could be showing up as disastrous, as crises, as frustrations, as, you know, pain in the ass. But it's only because you're not, it's got to be expressed. It's got to be expressed. It's got to come out. So this is like your heart was a little bit ahead of your mind here. Okay, let's start opening this up. Tell me about this Two of Swords. It's just Two of Swords. How can we get past the Two of Swords? How can we jailbreak that Two of Swords? That's a stalemate. That... Did you see it? That's kind of funny. Whatever your heart is inspired by, let it be inspired. Let your heart want what it wants. Let your heart lead the way. Let your heart feel. Don't judge it. The heart wants what it wants. I know how that sounds, but I'm sorry. I also feel like this person feels like almost like love came at an inopportune time, kind of a thing, or the right person, wrong time. And you may be feeling like, but I want to make so much money. I can't fall in love right now. Why do I give everyone that accent? I don't know. It's because I'm American. So, I mean, I'm not like a monolingual American. I speak 2 languages. I'm a bilingual American, but still, I'm extremely American. Let's open up the 10 of Pentacles, because this 9 of Cups, like seriously, feeling better. So you're gonna be feeling better, but it's like you have to kind of just accept that you may not, this is almost like you feel like you can't win. Like, I just can't be happy. I just can't win. If I do this, this person's upset. If I do this, then I lose this time. If I do that, you know, it feels a little bit like, but remember that 2 of Swords is only because you, with your perspective, you're putting something onto your options that may or may not really be there. For something like that, I would book a consigliere session. That's a little bit more strategic. You can get anything you want in life if you follow your strategy, if you have good strategy, and if you avoid the traps. Tell me about the 10 of Pentacles. Thank you. 3 of Wands. So still really looking at the future, looking at the far future, looking at down the road. Okay. A little bit of a snag here. You may have expectations that you've been building up in your mind's eye about how you want your future to look. And this might be a very aesthetic thing. This might be a very visual thing where you just thought for yourself, well, I know it looks like this. And that's what motivates us, right? It's by an image we're creating that we want to make physical in the material realm, okay? So I see that this is happening. It's just that it is getting in the way of some form of happiness that you are sort of not letting yourself experience the fullness of. It's almost like you're afraid of being happy because you feel like it's going to sabotage a future for yourself when you're having some kind of wish fulfillment happening right now. Tell me about the Star. This is what's really keeping this alive. What's the Star here? I don't want to repeat the poem. And it's kind of funny because I'm actually getting the Sacrifice with this. And I hardly ever get Sacrifice with the Hanged Man. Here's the thing. You feel there's something that's, you're inspired, you have faith, you have belief, there's this wonder, there's even this magic in the air. And you have some kind of, here's the thing. You have a fear of this, but this is exactly what is being healed in you by letting yourself enjoy this wish coming true that you have. You feared that you'd have to make a sacrifice to be happy. And you're really, really trying to make the best decisions for the long-term future for yourself. And what's being healed is that you don't have to make any sacrifices. You don't have to even consider anything like that. What you've got to do is as you are divinely guided. And I thought about putting up a whole separate video about this, talking about compulsion and compulsive feelings, because here's something kind of freaky. Shadow compulsion and divine impulse feel exactly the same. The only way you know that they're different is from their result. And if you can learn from the patterns of your own life, that gives you discernment. When you get a feeling if you know this is a compulsive impulse, or if you know this is a divine impulse. Test it and see how it goes. Look at your past. How did that go? Are there patterns? Is there anything else you can pick up to help give you the discernment, to help give you the knowledge, to help give you the self-awareness? Because you will find that whatever this wish coming true is, this could be a friend, this could be company, this could be a stellar coworker, this could be someone that just makes your life so much easier or so much more pleasant. You will have that moment where you realize that there's nothing to fear at all, that there's no stuck between a rock and a hard place, that you can enjoy your wish coming true. You can enjoy satisfaction. You can enjoy your heart being light and happy. Let's continue. What is this Knight of Pentacles? This is a much more materialistic endeavor. It's got a couple cards. We've got the Eight of Wands, the King of Cups, another double, and then the Seven of Pentacles. Very, very typical, very not surprising to see the Seven of Pentacles here. So this is kind of fun. I really like this. This is like you've got a great balance, or that you have a great success. Okay, so you've been wondering, the Seven of Pentacles, you've been wondering, I already answered this question, but to reiterate, you've been wondering whether to continue putting into some kind of endeavor, a financial endeavor, an investment, or something that you've already started, that you've been working on, you've been growing it. You're wondering, do I stop and just, cash out and maybe start a new thing, or should I continue with this? This feels very, very practical, by the way. This is not feeling like a relationship. This feels like a material endeavor. The guidance is to say yes, absolutely keep going, because this is going to be something that will bring you the visual, the monetary part of your later life visualization. You are doing that correctly. So keep going with that. That's amazing. You might have to put more work into it, but you're okay with that. And there might be some opportunity for you this week to continue to put into it, or to add more to it, or to continue on. So that looks great. So, this wish coming true, this is emotional, because physically, materially, you're set. You're great. You're working hard. You're doing the right things. You're building. You're taking your time. You're building it the right way. You're adding to it. This is like a lifetime work thing that's going well. So it's almost like you don't want to jeopardize that by letting your heart be very open, or just accepting some wish coming true, or just accepting, this is almost like being a workaholic and not having a social life, or being a workaholic and not having a romantic life, or being a workaholic and not having family life, or that's like the easiest example for me to use, obviously. But this would be like, you can relax, you can like go of, you can just let yourself have some fun. That's all I'm going to say with there. Let's take a look at this very breakthrough-ish mental energy with this King of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and this Seven of Swords. This is when you realize a little mousey has gotten into the wedge of your cheese. Was that there from before? I wonder. Oh, and we have to take it because it's the bottom of the deck, the Six of, and we have to take it because that's here too, the Ace of Cups. So now I have a lot of doubles. Ace of Cups, Six of Swords, Four of Swords, and then there's more. Directly linking these guys together. There could be something like that happening too, where there's something a little bit, like if this is love, maybe things are going great professionally, financially, but you haven't had anyone with whom you can connect with on like on a very comfortable level. I'm gonna say that. Now, I'm not saying on a deep level. I'm not saying on some magical unicorn level. I mean on a comfortable level. I'm getting that this is someone that you can be very comfortable with. And this resistance that you have towards that kind of a wish coming true has to do with your own mentality towards it. And we have two dudes here. So I'm just going to say it. It could be two dudes. It could be dude number one, dude number two, or it could be any kind of other reason why you or someone else might be judging this connection. This King of Swords, though, they're moving beyond that, like whatever the thing is. And it's interesting. It's like they both move beyond that. Because they literally both have the Six of Swords and like a double Six of Swords. So they're both going to be moving, you and this other person kind of, if there's two people moving together beyond some kind of mental, emotional imbalance. This is like equilibrium. You're going to get a nice equilibrium internally with yourself and your attitude towards allowing yourself to have a lot in multiple areas of life. Because I feel like this could have just been like a lot of work or a lot of money focus, investment focus, or building focus, maybe even building reputation or institutions, or even family could have been very demanding on you. And this is going to be moving you into a much better balance where you have at least one or more relationships that you're very, very, very comfortable with them. That is the key word. I mean, comfortable with them. Comfortable. Very, very comfortable. So let yourself have that. It's a little bit creepy with Jake Gyllenhaal in that, I think it's Nightcrawler, when he says like, friends are gifts we give ourselves. I know I'm not saying that like in that kind of a way. I'm just saying that you can let yourself have one or a couple friends or whoever this is that you're very comfortable with. And this brings whoever is more heady so much peace. So you get to just relax. But it's like you make up your mind to relax. You make up your mind to relax and you're going to say, okay, I decide that I trust this whole situation and I'm just going to relax. And it's like a switch that then they just relax and they're just totally relaxed. It's interesting. For this King of Swords, this moment where they make that flip and that switch flips, it could come out of stillness. It could come through a dream. It could come from maybe even being very inactive emotionally. Like they are used to being very heady or very mental when thinking about relationships. But then like all of a sudden, like you have two Aces of Cups. This is maybe something like an emotion that overtakes you, or a realization, a mental realization that overtakes you by storm. It's very, very strong. And you find that there's a little mousey in your wheel of cheese. Okay, let's take a look at your guidance. Is there any guidance? Anything else? You, bottom of the deck, Meadowlark, smile. You will soon experience a wonderful journey of inner discovery. That's exactly what I just said about the King of Swords. So whether this is two people or whether it's just you, inner discovery. Smile. Double Nine of Cups. Wish come true. The bag's fine. You're fine. Everyone's fine. This is just like you can handle this. You can handle more happy. Okay. And then your popper is the White Owl. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. So that's like I say all the time. It's you. It's always within you. You'll need a little bit of help every so often, but that's what I'm here for. That's what you're going to have other people, if you're really committed to that, which someone might be with this music underscoring what I just said, really committed to self-mastery, and you're gonna have a lot of fun experiences. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. And what's interesting is I'm getting a lot of comfort. She's just really emphasizing the comfortability with this King of Cups, Nine of Cups energy. So like whether this is just you and this other person or whether it's you inside, you've got to just know that there's a level of comfortability that is unsurpassed. So if this is someone you've been keeping at bay with that Two of Swords, you might know how comfortable you are with them, and that might be what you're sort of afraid of. You might have a subconscious toxic attachment to your mother or feminine energy or shadow feminine energy, where if you feel comfortable with someone, automatically you might feel like they're going to ask you to make a sacrifice for them. And if that resonates with you, send me an email, because it's something we cannot take care of like in this energy session. But you know, it's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. I'm kind of getting like, oh, you don't want to be with anyone or be even like a friend or just have anyone close, someone close with you that you're very comfortable with because somebody else at some point, or there was some other energy, or maybe you had friends before that were really shitty, or that, you know, anything at all, that you have this aversion. But that's exactly what's being healed, and it's changing your perspective. But it might have something to do with not like taking a totally different road or path, but maybe just not what you thought. So you have these messages, you have the wisdom, you have the divinity within yourself. So just tune in to how you truly deeply feel, because you're more uncomfortable right now sitting in the discomfort looking at the situation than you would be if you were on the other side and you were allowing your heart to be happy in the situation. You'd be feeling more comfortable emotionally, and you'd have your wits about you so much better. And then anything else that you may be projecting into the situation that could be problematic, you'll be in a better position to figure that out anyway, because you're more comfortable now that you've broken through your own personal stalemate than you are now. I know it's confusing when I talk in time travel. Than you are now looking at the situation and looking at this quagmire, that kind of discomfort you're hung up on. That's why it's a little bit stuck, because you're uncomfortable. That's all she wrote, folks. I love you guys. Take very good care. I'll check in on your energies next time, my loves. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.